Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. It's Chuck here. We got a list of 14 homes on a big Friday roundup before the weekend. And if you're going away this weekend, I hope you have a great time. We're off to one of my best friend's cottages, and I think it's going to be a lovely time taking two kids. I got a 3.5-year-old and a 6-month-old. So let's get to today's list. We got Black Drive 394.9, and it backs onto Thompson. It's a townhouse. It says a partly finished basement, and you can see here it's a rec room. It's all broadloom. I don't know, not a lot of zip to it. We can wait for the photos. I have a feeling this is a relist. It looks familiar. McDougall Crossing is 1,500 square feet. It's a semi-detached. For some reason, they decided to put the back deck shot twice. I don't know if you lead with the bedroom pictures. I think you lead with your strength, which is probably the kitchen. They've done the upgraded faucet. I would have taken the garbage cans away, but you've got some nice appliances here. Those cabinets are a little bit different texture than these ones, so you could probably notice that in person, that they were probably put in after the fact. You wonder if the impression is, as buyers are going through here, was there enough storage in these cabinets? No, either way it's there, but I'm just saying, I wonder if that's going to change their perception at all. Hardwood floors. You know, this model regularly sells for around $400 without a finished basement. I don't think they'll have any issues with it. Duncan Lane is $409. A little bit less than 1,600 square feet. It's got those nice high 9-foot ceilings, hardwood floors. I look at this one and I say, you know what? It's the one that we talked about on Hobbs yesterday beats these guys on square footage. They both have 9-foot ceilings. These guys are right in front of the train tracks too. Hobbs is a quieter street. I would definitely take the one on Hobbs. There's some California shutters here. It's not a bad listing. I just think that there might be better value elsewhere. Even some of the Hillsview ends that don't have the 9-foot, but they have a nice floor plan. Cedar Hedge, $429. 1,500 square foot home with a finished basement. 2 cars side by side, but to be honest, in this picture, I mean, it looks like my wife and I trying to fit in a twin bed. I mean, it definitely looks pretty cramped. Hardwood floors here. That's your family room. Whoops, there's your front dining room. Kitchen here, and there's enough room to put a small table. You can't go big on the table in the kitchen, but the photos just aren't good. You're going to see that today. There's a lot of listings that are just kind of average photos and just boring. They look like they were taken with a BlackBerry or something like that. I think the price isn't that far off. I mean, it's pretty good value for what you get. Cedar Hedge is the old 4th line north of Derry, so there's a leash-free dog park just at the end of the street there. It's actually a nice little spot. It's quiet. Definitely check the development on the other side of Cedar Hedge, though. Check those zoning maps. Call the town of Milton. Edison Court, 434.9. When I saw this one, very excited about it. Nice quiet street in Dorset Park. You've got this beautifully interlocked driveway. Enough to park 2 cars side by side, almost as if my wife and I were in a king or queen bed. And so anyways, I'm just kidding around with that. There's the basement there. A little bit of kind of retro stuff with the shelving and everything else, but it looks like a great home. It's got a big lot, pie-shaped, and at this price, I thought, great deal. Then I go down to the description here, offers to be presented August 7th. So a bit of a tricky thing, because do you hold back on offers on a long weekend? That's another thing to look at, is are you going to have reduced activity just because of the time of year? But anyways, it is what it is. I have a feeling these guys are going to sell for more than this. It looks like a really terrific deal. Now this one on Hood Terrace, it's a Greensburg. It's 1,822 square feet. And whenever I show homes, I say, hey, you're living in the Hood, because it's on Hood Terrace. Inside, beautiful pot lights, hardwood floors, very well decorated. Even the accent wall here looks terrific. It's still an 1,800 square foot home with no finished basement, and I look at that and say 509, no premium lot. Like, really, it's the beauty of the house is what's trying to sell this one, and you can definitely find well-appointed homes with similar features for a lot less than this. Now, the other thing about where it is on Hood Terrace is it backs onto the car wash. There's the car wash for the Petro-Canada at Derry and Thompson, and in the description it says no neighbors behind, but here's the thing, is that I don't know how loud that would be. I know there's a big high fence there, but would you have lights that are turned on at night? I think they shut the car wash off at 10 or 11 at night. But it would be an interesting thing. Like, is it something that would affect your enjoyment of the house in a positive or negative way? I don't know. That's something you probably want to check out and inquire about. But I would be a little nervous being by a gas station. It's just my own little perception. I'm sure that everybody has their own things. Pringle is 509. This is I think it's called a Snowberry model, 21 something square feet. And you come in the front door and you've got your stairs just to your right hand side. Straight ahead when you're looking through the front door is the dining room. And then you get in, you've got your family room, and then you've got the kitchen. Everything seems to be taken from about 8 feet up in the air. It's a really nice floor plan. I'm a big fan of this one. It's 4 bedrooms. 509, I compare this to Hood. It's still a pretty nice home. You're getting, 300 square feet more. And yeah, it just seems like it's a little bit better deal for me. And you're away from that gas station too. So Bustle Crescent, 530 is the price on this one. You're getting a big pie-shaped lot. It looks like maybe you could do 2 cars side by side here, depending on how it looks in person. Sometimes the pictures are stretched. Great yard though. Now, here's the thing is that you've got a ravine behind you, right? We call it a ravine. You got green space behind. It's a man-made ravine. And then, but you're close to the train tracks too. So on the top end of Bustle, you have the train going. So just be really, you will hear the train. There's no doubt about that one. And I don't know how that would affect someone's enjoyment of this home. Parquet floor, again, maybe something where people aren't that into it. But it has some unique stuff that I think you're not seeing a whole lot out there. 146 foot deep, so the lot is definitely the selling feature. On its own, the house is probably sort of on the average side. And I think the square footage is 1870 square feet. So Jelinek is 539, or Jelinek, I don't know which one it is. 4 bedrooms on this one here. And not sure which model. It almost looks like a Plan 6. And the floors look like they're a nice color. Everything looks like it's done well. I don't really know why they showed 3 doors here. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Unless that's a separate entrance off the side. I thought originally it was a front door, and then I looked a little closer, and there's your entrance to the garage. That could be a side entrance. So anyways, upstairs you've got some hardwood floors, those sort of bird's eye view shots. It actually looks like a good deal. If it's the model I'm thinking it is, it's competitively priced. Valley View is at 564.9. It's on the side of Valley View on the east side that backs onto Ontario. And inside looks good. There's a similar one on Valley View that's also listed. And so you've got a renovated kitchen. And they talked about undermounted lights and also overmounted lights plus the pot lights. I like the offset tile here. And that's always a good thing. When you can start with a renovated kitchen, you're just worrying about floors and paint and stuff like that. It can be a much easier sell for most people, that you don't need to live eating Subway every day, even though right across the street from this one is Dairy Queen, Pizza. There's lots of options to eat fast food. 60 by 150 foot lot. Gorham Way is 574. It's our listing here. It's 2,400 square feet. It's all bricks, got a great impression. The street is wonderful too. I know a lot of the neighbors, and certainly a great place to be. So there's your living dining room in the front. There's your kitchen, nice cabinets. You've got a Subway tile here. You can't really see it in the photo, but it's an offset tile. Some pot lights in there. And the real star of this one, I'll get to it in just a sec. The master's huge. You've got double sinks in the master, a couple pot lights above the soaker tub, glass door on the shower. Beautiful stuff. Balcony on the second floor. So the owners have an office in this room, and then they could just go out and just relax and enjoy. It's a very quiet street. But the real star of the show is the backyard. It's a 45 by 100 foot lot, one of the biggest ones you'll find in New Milton, aside from any sort of pie-shaped or massive lots that are just those sort of freak ones that nobody ever puts on the market. This one has a 16 by 25 foot deck. It's got a big pool, an inflatable pool. It's got a play set, and there's still tons of space back there. So it's a huge backyard. It's a great place for the kids. There's a park at the end of the street, and I just think it's a wonderful home. Some people might look at it and say, well, it doesn't have hardwood. Well, guess what? You could probably put hardwood on the whole main floor for between $3,000 and $5,000, and when you look at what all the other stuff this one has, it's awesome. And it's got hardwood stairs and a hardwood landing upstairs too. Awesome, great listing. Lederman's next one, $579, and it's a I guess it'd be one of the Spirit plans. It's very similar to the Wood Lily model, so it's around 2,500 square feet. Not the most impressive photos by any means, and I find that shade of wood is very dark. It's almost a black wood, and you can see the dust and the scratches on it. Probably more than if you were maybe a 7 or an 8 out of 10 on the darkness scale. That's almost like a 9.5 on darkness. I think there's better deals out there, but we have seen that model do pretty well in the past. Okay, so the next one up is Simon's. $639 is basically 3,000. It's more than 3,000 square feet with a finished basement. The builder finished it, so it's a pretty good quality finished basement. This one's been off and on the market for probably 2 years now. It's on a big lot, 57 by 100, so it's right on the corner. You have that extra space on the side. Now the kitchen looks pretty good. They could have taken the stuff off the counters. I can't believe the more crummy pictures. Carpet on the whole main floor. And then let's just say I've been in this home before, and I have 2 issues with it. Number one is there's some very questionable tile choices in the bathrooms. Let's just leave it at that. If you ever see it, you'll laugh when you know what I'm talking about. And the other thing is I'm 6'4". I had to duck to get out of their back sliding door. So the sliding door coming out of the kitchen is like a 6-foot door. It looks ridiculous, and it's just not the right scale. I don't know what they were thinking. If maybe they were on sale and the builder decided to pick up these little crummy doors. It was a huge pet peeve for me. You know, this one actually, when you add it up on paper with the size of the lot, the finished basement, and the amount of space inside the home, $639 is actually not that far off at all. And then Kincardine is $655.5, and we're about a 3,000 square foot home, 40 by 100, nice sized piece of land, almost as big as the one on Gorham. Gorham beats it by about 5 feet wide, which does make a big difference. And excuse me, it's not on the Kincardine side that potentially might be backing onto the new gas station. Don't know if the builder told everyone about that, but it's in a good spot. You can see the escarpment well here. Here's the thing that I look at with something like this. It says tons of upgrades throughout, but that doesn't mean anything to a buyer. It has no relevance. Like, explain what those upgrades are. Even just pick 1 or 2 of the best ones, and instead of using those characters for that in the description, specificity, I think, really matters. So anyways, that's the list for today, 14 properties, and if you have any questions, give us a call. My partner Jennifer is still in town, and she's running tours on the weekend. We just booked one on Sunday morning with some lovely people. So it's a great chance for you, if you're not at the cottage, if you're not goofing around, if you do have some time to really invest in your home search, it could be a great way to spend it by coming on a tour. So anyways, enjoy yourself, and we'll see you back here probably on Monday or Tuesday. Usually on the long weekend, I end up getting lazy on Monday, and we do one on Tuesday. So I'll see you then. Take care.